Number 2, where the largest bulk of the pro-Gaddafi elements are holed up. They have got a lot of ammunition. Insert from the east, from the west and from the south, and there's not one overall command structure, so that may be a bit of a problem. They are confident, however, that they will take this area in a matter of time. We don't know that time. They can see the end, but it's getting a little bit blurred at the moment, but they are still pushing ahead.
Tony, you've been covering the battle for Sirte now for some time for Al Jazeera.
We haven't seen too many civilian casualties, surprisingly, and those that have been coming out have been going to the hospital and been treated pretty well. But I have to say there is a concern about civilians in that area, if they are still there, because there's a women's organisation from Sirte been handing out this leaflet at checkpoints coming into the town today, and that's basically reminding fighters to observe the principles of jihad when they're fighting this war, to be careful of civilians, not to rape and not to loot, because they're concerned about what's going on here. There's no evidence of rape, I have to say, but looting, certainly stripped of every single appliance you can imagine. So this is basically getting their own back and taking things to make up for that. But there are concerns here about those civilians. If they're still there, it's a pretty dangerous time for them now.
Tony, let me get a final thought from you before you go. What's the morale like for the fighters now? I mean, they've come up against stiff resistance in some quarters, but most people seem to think it's just a matter of time before Sirte falls. So, you know, what's their morale like at the moment?
Well, it's pretty high. I think a little bit of frustration. That's you know, to be expected, because they wanted it to be over by today. I'm not sure it will be. But they've said, look, they've waited 42 years. They've waited 8 months in this war. They can wait a little bit longer. It is going to fall. It's just a question of time. The people inside that area that are pro-Gaddafi, as someone said to me, they're not fighting for Gaddafi. They're fighting for their own lives. And I think that's the edge of desperation in this, that they don't want to give up. They want to fight until the end. But there's nowhere for them to run any longer. It's just a matter of time now.
Tony, thank you.